And I am once again live to discuss the IB to the F. Okay. Now, I was originally going to do this at 4 o'clock, but I said, you know what, let's get started now. I got some stuff to do anyway, got more content. So I just needed to reach out to you. As you guys know, the IBF is planning to strip Oleksandr Usyk after gaining the title. Just gaining the title. And I just think it's weird on why they are deciding to do that. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I think that if anything, let's see,
Whatever you
um,
do,
they should have at least gave an option or pre-warned someone. Like, okay, first of all, a lot has changed in a short amount of time. um, there we go. Cool. So a lot has changed in a short amount of time when it comes to um, the IBF, Counterpunch Boxing News, the Zone. A lot has happened in a short amount of time. So if you guys don't get a notification, there are reasons why that you don't get a notification, which is 20 people on here. Let's see how it populates. But as of now, um, meow meow, Usyk is Holyfield 2.0. Well, I think he's Holyfield 2024. Bars. That's what I think. I think if anything, Holyfield should be proud. I have a lot of material. Um, let's see. There we go. Cool. I have a lot of material to work on. I just went to the gym, just worked out a bit. Needed to get back there, man. Had a good rest, a good rest. Had a good shower, good water pressure, and yeah, man. I think that the IBF, man. I think they're tripping. Johan T, if the ref wouldn't have done what he did, there is no way Tyson would have got out of that beating. Well, he just saved him from basically that referee, I think, was set aside to make sure Tyson Fury didn't have any type of how do you say embarrassment to the point where, hey, some referees are paid like, hey, if it does go south, let's try the best possible outcome. Kind of like the Harvey Dock thing with Ryan Garcia. But Ryan Garcia's own arrogance is the reason why Devin Haney ain't stopped. See, it could have been stopped, but the referee gave him so much time, just like the referee did with Tyson, of course. But on this end, Ryan Garcia was the one holding back. So he wasn't the one pressing the gas to make sure everything was where it was at. Kurt, have you rewatched the fight and scored it? Have it 116, 111. I saw it after. I took a shower. Then I went and I looked at it again. I've been watching clips, but I'm going to sit down and watch it again. Okay. Um, Crushing Might. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Luke Amato. Everyone will know it's still Usyk's belt. Well, the good thing is, Luke, that no relation to Luke. But I think what people are going to realize is that if the sanctioning bodies did that type of thing, they're going to lose credibility. Let's hit that like button when we come in. We got over 60 people in here. Let's hit the like button. The most important belts are the WBC and the WBA. Well, the most important belts are the ones that is patient, that understands unification properties. I think there should be an overseer which the overseeing belt should supersede all of them. But so if that's the case, all of them should be dissolved if they're doing this type of stuff. Now, IBF, I know if they want to be, they want to have integrity and they want to be, by the book and all this. But then when you do underhanded stuff, when you don't let people know what the rules are, okay? And mind you, let me break it down to you, okay? When you got Oleksandr Usyk, which is the IBF champion, fighting Tyson Fury, which is the WBC champion, and all the belts are on the line anyway, you know that defense is going up on top of a rematch, and you know the IBF knows about the rematch. So why are they now saying, hey, in 2 weeks, we're going to strip you? Okay, you knew this man just fought for the WBC, the IBF, the WBA, the WBO, the Ring Magazine. You knew that he just fought for all of these belts to be combined. So why would the IBF then say, we're going to be different and we're going to give you a 2-week option to do what you need to do, or we'll strip you, or you can always vacate? Does that make sense to anybody? And see, that's what I'm saying. The IBF is going, they should have been lost credibility. The only thing that helped them, because it's look, this is twice now that an undefeated, undisputed champion that has been stripped from the IBF, knowing damn well that fighter just got that belt, or that fighter just defended or had a fighting for all the titles. Look at Terrence Crawford, for Christ's sake. Look what happened to him. Terrence Crawford had the WBO. Errol Spence had the IBF, the WBC, and the WBA. Do you guys remember that? And when they fought, all of them came together in the welterweight division, and Terrence Crawford did a cleanup job on Errol Spence, taking all those belts from Errol Spence. And guess what? I think, 9 weeks, 9 days, I think? Or was that Fury's case? Shortly after, the IBF said, oh, we're taking our belt away. And it pissed off Terrence Crawford too. When what happened, Terrence, is a hell of a fighter, but he didn't have a voice like that. And but he did voice his opinion. He was like, look, screw the IBF. You guys knew that you were going to strip me. You guys knew that Errol Spence had the belt. You guys knew that fight was taking place. So why wouldn't you understand, hey, the unification's taking place? Put a hold or a freeze, okay, on that our rules due to the circumstance at hand. What's the circumstance? It should be special circumstances. Why? Because we're having a unification. Whenever you have a unification, all that other stuff on every single sanctioning body should be on freeze. Okay, under special circumstances, because they know, well, they're fighting for all the belts now, so that should be recognized as a defense by itself. Do you think? Okay, let me ask you guys a question. Let me finish up these statements here. Let me see. Okay, word of the day: Tyson recovered, though. Well, that's good. That's good. I hope everybody recovers. Usyk is more of a heavyweight Manny Pacquiao. Drew Titan, father, the LDBC is gone. No, okay. I hope Usyk just retires, vacates all the belts, and goes back home to his family. He could do that, but, you fought so hard to do that. At least you could have had the luxury of defending them. And I want to talk about that too, okay? Usyk doesn't need to prove himself. He's done it for himself. Yes, he's got all the belts one night in one fight, but then there is a such thing as defending it as an undisputed champion. See, Lennox Lewis is the only one at this point that has defended the belt, then lost the belt, then got those belts back. He was undisputed. He walked around a god. He was Thanos, walking in breathing form, taking on challenges. Vitali, Hasim Rahman, lost him. Hasim Rahman again, right? Think about it. Mike Tyson, You know, Usyk doesn't need to prove himself. He's done enough. I already just said that. Frank Close. Good evening, Kurt from the UK. Where does Usyk rank in your all-time heavyweight? Um, he's definitely in heavyweights. He got to be top 10 now. He has to be top 10. Okay? He has to be top 10. But I want AJ now to come through digging deeper in IQ. Okay? I mean, Joshua's going to do what Joshua's going to do, and Joshua's on the right track because I think he has a trainer that's going to help him be who he's going to be and be who he was meant to be. I think that's most important for Anthony Joshua. I think that's why you see him doing what he's doing now, because he knows, hey, this is who I'm supposed to be, versus trying to learn this over here and that over there and this over here and that over there and, all this other stuff that really is confusing a guy that's supposed to know how to fight a certain way based on how his body is and his strengths are and weaknesses, because you got to do the yin with the yang, you know. I'm disgusted they stripping Usyk before the rematch. Terrible. Absolutely. This is what this live stream is about. James Bash forever coming in with that cash. Peace, Kurt. I rewatched it. That AJ versus Usyk one fight. Nobody beats that Usyk. Unbelievable. That Usyk beats the Usyk that beat Fury. Bro, appreciate the love, James Bash. That is something I never thought about. What would Usyk in 2021 do to Usyk in 2024? He would beat him. You know what I mean? Would he beat him by much? No, but he'd still beat him because he's faster, he's sharper. I think he was stronger, he was younger. I think his levels and his testosterone, since he's not a juicer, would be a different level too. Because one thing about that's just like me. I'm 44 years old. Okay, I'm close to mid 40s now. But if I go back 10 years, me 10 years ago fighting myself now, I know I don't stand a chance to myself 10 years ago. Hell, in fact, when I was 39, I was a lot different. I feel a lot different. You know what I mean? You have to keep your body at a certain level, but understand they're like residuals in movies. They always get lower and lower. That's all your levels. Unless you do something extra, testosterone replacement, creatine. I'm on ashwagandha. That's why I know Ryan's full of it. She legit. I take she legit now. I just wish I would have took ashwagandha and she legit then. You know what I mean? But does it make me better than it makes me feel better, but I don't think I was better. Now, mentally, I could probably, hey, I can't play with a 10-year younger version of myself. So what do I have to do? I have to take him down early and quick, because at this point, I'm in the same bracket as Zili Zhang. I might can bang, but how long can I bang? I can't do that for a long period of time. We got to be real with each other. So you can't do that for a long period of time. The IBF didn't make Spence defend the belts in 3 years. And yet, look, here's the thing. They're starting to look retarded. Look what they did to Tyson Fury. Look what they did to Terrence Crawford. Look what they're doing to Oleksandr Usyk, or soon going to do to Oleksandr Usyk. They need to be reprimanded. They need to be self-checked. They need to understand. Let's look in the mirror and understand, are we really doing this newly crowned IBF champion right? Are we really doing him right? It wasn't right how they did Tyson Fury. But understand, Tyson Fury wasn't going to fight for any belt anyway based on his condition. But even if he wanted to, he couldn't. Okay, so that's the point. They were going to do it anyway. Like Errol Spence. Now, this is really weird. If Errol Spence, if that's what if he didn't have to defend that belt on the IBF, where did he get it from? He got it from Kell Brook, right? He got it from Kell Brook. He fought Sean Porter for the WBC. The WBA he got from, it was supposed to be Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao lost it to Ugas, and he got it from Ugas. So he was 3-time belt winner. Now, all that time, you look at the IBF, who was there? Who was there for the number one? And then they put a timeline on something, and when it could be any guy that they're putting it on, and they don't care who they put that mandate on because they're about their business. This is the problem with people that want to be sticklers, especially when you hear, okay, well, you didn't do that then. You're full of it. The IBF, that the only way you can look at it, the IBF is full of it. I can't say anything else about it. They're just, you shouldn't have that type of attitude. That type of approach is flawed. Imagine that. That means you don't even care who holds the belt. You're just trying to take the belt and take it away from, this consortium of other belts. You know what I mean? And if that's the case, and here's what IBF should do. Okay. What they should do is you're invited Usyk to a holiday together. I mean, he probably could do that, but then again, he spent all that time focusing on Tyson Fury. He ain't got time to hang out with Fury after he beat him. He has time to, he missed his daughter's birthday. He missed a birth of his child. He missed his two sons' birthdays. He missed Happy New Year's. No, he ain't going to go nowhere with Tyson Fury. He already said, man, I ain't drinking a beer with him. The ref watch was broke 13 seconds, was 10 seconds on his. What was Tyson's salary? 100 million? I don't know. Arizism, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. He's undermining him. Usyk got 30 million. 20 seconds to recover. Unbelievable. Yeah, well, I mean, if he couldn't recover in 30 seconds, I don't know what to tell you. But what we can say is, the strange thing about everything that Tyson Fury accused Oleksandr Usyk of, the same thing that he accused Oleksandr Usyk of, he became victim to. The excess time, the heightened trunks. Look at where Tyson Fury's trunks were. His trunks were he looked like Jarrell Miller in there. And everybody know Jarrell Miller's trunks were way too high. Them fat boys. He looked like he gained 10 pounds since the weigh-in. I'm like, dude, you're 262. You sure you ain't 282? Tyson got 80 million. Usyk got 35 million. Well, if they're going to fight, that means Usyk should get 80 million and Tyson should get 30 million. But see, understand, that's how they were when the split was in the UK. Okay. See, Usyk agreed to the 30%. People saying, no, you didn't agree to it. He agreed to the 30%, bro. And he agreed to the 30% in exchange. When I beat Tyson, you're going to give me 70% and he's going to take 30% in the rematch. Since there was a mandated rematch, because what happened was when Usyk wanted 30%, he didn't want anything. When he agreed to 30%, let's get it right. When he agreed to 30%, then Tyson Fury is like, well, how about 50-50 in the rematch? And they were like, no, why would you want 50-50 in the rematch? When we beat you, we want 70. If we're going to take 30 now, why can't you take 30 when we beat you? You see what I mean? And they looked at it as, no, because you're not going to win. Well, no, see, back then, before Turkey Al-Sheikh came around, there was really no rematch clause until they added one all of a sudden. See, they were avoiding that fight because what people didn't know at the time was a fight that was brewing in the in the behind the scenes, in the backdrop between him and Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou was already being talked about by Turkey Al-Sheikh. And it's weird because it makes you think, then why didn't Tyson fight Oleksandr Usyk earlier and then fight Francis Ngannou later on the year? Because there was no guarantee that he was going to beat Usyk at the beginning of the year. There was no guarantee he was going to whoop him in 2023 or early. That was early that year, last year. So there was no guarantee. So they knew, well, no, we're going to take that easy money. We just fought Derek Chisora and made a whole lot of money. We're not trying to do all that right now with Usyk. See, Tyson Fury didn't want a unification. Now, I know that there's another factor, though. Okay, Filip Hrgovic was the IBF mandatory. So we got to break this down. Okay, let me see what time it is. Okay, 2:60 early. So Filip Hrgovic and he was co-promoted by the Sauerlands and Eddie Hearn. Well, they knew, well, hey, Philip Hergovic needs his shot. See, they didn't care about the Undisputed if their fighters wasn't in it. Philip didn't have anything to do with that because the champion was Usyk. Nobody's promoting Usyk from Sauerland's side or Eddie's side. Eddie was promoting Oleksandr Usyk, but he didn't. Right? So that's what happened with that. So it could have been an influence by Eddie Hearn, Philip Hergovic on the behalf of Philip Hergovic, like, look, this is what's going to happen. Philip Hergovic is co-promoted by Eddie Hearn. 5 versus 5. Dubois, Queensberry, Hergovic is Matchroom. So don't be surprised, what Eddie's done. Eddie's probably knowing certain things. He just ain't saying certain things. But you think he won't be happy to hear the good news? Of course he would. He's like, okay, we've had the undisputed belt, so whoever won. They won and they took all the pot of gold. Everything was on the table. It's almost like getting it all but can't spend it. You know what I mean? He's an undisputed champion right now. He is the undisputed heavyweight champion right now, the first in 25 years since Lennox Lewis, Oleksandr Usyk. I think what we need to do is this. Reflect. Reflect. Understand what time we're in right now. Just reflect. Usyk is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. We need to respect it, accept it, okay? Live it, and understand that this is the guy that's done something that ain't been done in 25 years. And based on how boxing is, the sport that I love, that I hate so much, is it safe to say the sport that we love, that we hate so much? Bro, I will probably be in my 60s by the time somebody comes around and gets all the belts. Because how long did it take to get these belts together? But then when IBF pulls some crap like this, you're like, okay, well, what makes you think, and why do you think it took so long to get these belts? It ain't like nobody can get them. It's just these sanctioning bodies are so busy trying to do their own thing with their own stable of fighters that they feel they could promote or whatever. If the IBF thinks that they can back Philip Hergovic over Usyk, do you guys think Hergovic will beat Usyk? Usyk feels, I don't know what Usyk feels. He's home with his family. I follow Usyk. He's home. He's chilling. He's probably making another baby. I missed that one, baby. Let's make another one so I won't miss that one. Right? Gold Muhammad Trophy, Linear, and Undisputed. Then what next? Yeah, he has the Ring Magazine. He's the lineal champion. See, you can't take that away anyway. You can't take that away. See, Tyson didn't have any of that, and he was like, lineal. Well, here's the deal. Usyk has beaten everyone. He's beaten everyone. Now, the IBF, they just made it more dramatic because I think they're doing it for financial gain at this point. Think about it. Let's look at how the IBF moved. Let's think about it in 3 different episodes. 1, Tyson Fury. Who was more marketable in 2015? Okay, let's do a little class. Okay, who was more marketable in 2015? Tyson Fury or Vladimir Klitschko? Who was more marketable in 2015? Can it please tell me? You can put T or K. Easy. T or K. Who was more marketable in 2015? K. Okay. Morningwood Ferry. Come on. Who was more marketable in 2015? Oleksandr Usyk or Tyson Fury? Who was more marketable? Agni Kai Never Dies. Okay, we got a Fury. Who was more marketable? Yo, what's up, Kurt? Counterpunch to you. Klitschko was a robot. Fury all day. Kurt, do you think Fury takes the rematch? Okay, T, I don't know what you meant. K, greedy belly. Okay, more marketable. Who was more marketable in 2015 between between Vladimir Klitschko and Tyson Fury? We got Fury. We got Tyson. We got Fury. We got Tyson. I got Usyk KO Wilder. Okay. Okay, Fury. Okay, I don't know why you guys think that Tyson was more marketable in 2015. Okay, let me reword the question. Who was more marketable in 2015, Tyson Fury or Vladimir Klitschko? Blue Marvelous, Klitschko. Okay. Vlad, Tyson Fury. Again, never. You already heard you. Vlad. See, Fury is the comedian. Okay. Who was more marketable in 2015? We got another super chat. Big up Kurt. Usyk won despite corrupt officials. The ref robbed him of a ninth round TKO. Fury showed that he is an entitled sore loser after the fight. Well, we learned a lot. This moment is going to be very, very interesting with Tyson Fury, because now we have to see how Tyson Fury reacts and how he counteracts what he said before. Does he stand by his guard? Does he retract his statement? He still feels that he won. Oh, I got a lot of material. People ask me, what are you going to do after Tyson Fury loses? Well, Tyson Fury, I don't think he's going to shut up. And if he goes into hiding, there's more talking about his quietness than his mouth. Okay, Klitschko, Vlad, Klitschko, Vlad. Listen, Vladimir Klitschko was the unified champion of the world when he fought Tyson Fury. He got upset. So Tyson Fury got the opportunity to fight Vladimir Klitschko. So for the people that said Tyson Fury was more marketable in 2015, how did you come up with that? He's a mandatory. So how is the mandatory more marketable than the actual champion at the time? And see, what happened when Tyson Fury won? They stripped him. Let me ask you this. They stripped him. Let that sink in. They stripped Tyson Fury like that. No question. No problems. Really no warning. They just thought, hey, you have 9 days. 9 days? What are you, Ed 209? You have 30 seconds to comply. Whoa, wait, what? Right? So, next, we have last year, 2023. The end of July, we had the undisputed championship of the world. Errol the Truth Spence, Terrence Bud Crawford went at it. Terrence wiped the floor with Errol Spence. So, Errol Spence, who was more marketable in that fight? Who was the A side in that fight? Who's the A side? That's the question you need to answer. Who was the A side in Vlad versus Tyson? Who's the A side in Vlad versus Tyson? Vladimir Klitschko, right? Okay. In Errol versus Crawford, who was the A side? Errol versus Terrence, who was the A side? Spence was the A side. He was probably protected by Alex Heyman. We all know that. Spence, Alfonso says. Spence says, Daryl says. Come on now. Blue Marvelous Crawford, Boogeyman type, Boomerang type Crawford. Spence was never the truth. Spence. It was Spence, bro. It was Spence Crawford. It wasn't Crawford Spence. That shows you who the A side was. Spence. But guess what they did to the person that won because it wasn't the A side? Stripped. Come on, people. Counterpunch. So, what happened in this fight? Who is more marketable? Tyson Fury or Oleksandr Usyk? Who was A side? Tyson Fury or Oleksandr Usyk? Who was the A side between Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk? Mr. Zwane, Vincent, Fury was the A side. Usyk don't speak enough English to be the A side. That has nothing to do with it. Tyson Fury, MP. K, I don't know what K means. Fury was. Okay. So Fury for sure. All right, now let me ask you guys another question. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys come on for your Tyson Fury because I know it's a little slower in different countries, so I'll give it time for you guys to put it in. It says Fury is anybody that says Fury is stupid. No, it was Fury, the A side. He got $80 million or something like that. Usyk got 35 or 30. You know what I mean? How can you be the A side making, geez, 50% less? Okay, now listen. But who won? Who won? Usyk. And then what are they planning to do? Strip him. Do you guys see the pattern? Klitschko, Fury won, strip Fury. Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford won, strip Crawford. Tyson Fury, Oleksandr Usyk won, strip Usyk. That's all they're doing. So this is what they're doing. They're looking at their brand. They're looking at their brand and they're looking at, okay, well, we don't need this type of money from this guy. So guess what? We're stripping all the people that were not the money guys in the equation. That's all they're doing. That's what makes them. They claim to be. IBF claims to be this sanctioning body of integrity. No, all they really are as a sanctioning body that looks and follows the money trail. If the money trail gets cut, if the wrong person that is not the A side wins, what they're gonna do, they're gonna start anew. That's what they're gonna do. And where is it going though? Where is it going to go? Where is that IBF belt going to go? It's going to go in the hands of who? But who ultimately is going to get the belt? Think about it. Let's think hard about that. Okay, they strip Usyk. The lineal, WBO, WBA, IBF, IBO, WBO, Ring Magazine, lineal champion, undisputed. He gets stripped of the IBF. Where does the IBF belt go? Who gets it? Daryl Masters. Come on, bro. Okay, yeah. Hergovic and Dubois, they're going to get it. That's what it seems. Don't fall for it. Yeah, okay, they're going to fight for it. They're going to be champion. Yeah, they're going to be champion for a little bit until they fight AJ. And then AJ knocks one of them senseless. And then guess where it's going to go? It's going to go right back to somebody that's the A side. Boom. Checkmate. Checkmate. Come on. That's all they're doing. That's all they're doing. Goes to Zhang. Nah, Zhang. Here's the thing. Zhang and Wilder, those guys have lost their fights. So they're doing what they're saying. Chinese power. No, you guys are crazy. It goes to Zhang. No, Zhang has lost to Parker. Really, Parker should be fighting for something. Come on. You know what I mean? Dubois is fighting Hergovic. No. Yes, that's where it's going. It's going from either whoever wins out of Hergovic and Dubois. That's who's going to be the IBF heavyweight champion. With Usyk's footwork. And see, like, Usyk ain't got time. Usyk's contractually bound to fight Tyson, and they know that. They knew that before stripping the belt. Since they stripped the belt, guess what they're going to do? Oh, okay, we know he can't turn around and fight for it because he just fought. So we're going to strip him due to the fact that he ain't satisfied as mandatory. He ain't satisfied as mandatory. We're going to strip this boy. Let's get him. He the B side. He's all right. See, they want that big money. They want that A side. That's some dirty politics. I know, bro. It's dirty. It's dirty. You know what I mean? And see, here's the problem though. Based on the fact that Tyson Fury pushed this fight back for so long, that's why the IBF can justify, well, we gave them 2 years and it took them so long to make the fight. We let them fight. Yeah, you let them fight so you can get your fees from the fight. But then you're going to strip this man. If I was Usyk, I wouldn't give him nothing. I wouldn't give them a dime. I wouldn't pay anybody anything. Oh, nope, you can't pay me. I'll drop this belt myself because I'm not going to pay you because I can't even defend the belt that I just won. Why would I pay you money? To see some other two guys fight for the belt that I just won? I'm watching Ergovic and Dubois fight for the belt that I just won. I'm sorry, that I just had, and I got all of them. Why would I do that? You know what I mean? And what, you want me to pay you for something that I really defended against Tyson Fury, knowing it was a full unification? And you want me to pay you? I wouldn't pay you anything. I wouldn't give you a dime. You know? And see what's going to happen. Great. You're going to cheapen that. And then how they rebound? AJ. Because Anthony Joshua is going to go for the belts first because he wants to be 3-time. He's about legacy now. He's took enough losses. He's took 3 losses, and 3 losses is enough to be at a point where, okay, the O's been gone. I ain't worried about the O no more. I lost that back in June of 19. That's 5 years ago. So he ain't worried about that. He ain't worried about money. If it was about money, he would have been retired. What AJ's thinking about, he's thinking about, hey, what are people going to say after I leave? How many times a champion? Oh, man, AJ was a 3-time champion, even if he comes up short in a 3rd Usyk fight. That's if Tyson Fury fights him. Even if he doesn't beat Tyson Fury when they fight, he's still a 3-time champion, ain't he? 3-time heavyweight champion, 2-time unified, and 3-time champion overall because he got the IBF back. So he got a portion of what he used to have. So he got some of that back. That's almost like losing everything. Like I lost 100 million, but I got back 25. I got 25 million back, baby. Yeah. You know, Usyk choice money and don't care about his mandatory. He's not victim rules or the rules. No, the rules are, okay, say that, tell that to Terrence Crawford. See, if these guys knew, if the IBF knew that they were going to strip, they knew they were going to strip that fighter. They should let that fighter know before that fight happens. Why would you let a fight take place knowing what you were going to do? Now, you knew you were going to strip that person for that belt. Why? Just for it so it'll look better? Oh, well, he's undefeated. Well, you can't take that away. They're thinking they're doing these fighters a favor. But what they're doing, they're waiting on those fees. See, when they gain those belts like Terrence Crawford did, he has to pay for those sanctioning fees. That's what it's about. And then what they do, okay, you got to pay us for these fees. And then now what we're going to do, we're going to give you a certain amount of time to satisfy this mandatory. So you have a certain, who does anything in 2 weeks? Nobody in the boxing world. Nobody, probably except Turkey Al-Sheikh, but it ain't in the game plan, is it? But the IBF knows that, talking about rules versus rules. You better get out of here with that. You can miss me with that. They knew the rules and they knew what was happening. So since they knew what was happening, then their rules made more sense just for justification. Hey, well, you know, we already let it be known that the IBF, we have our standards and regulations and rules. So our rules, you know, we have to strip Oleksandr Usyk. Can't make it up, man. Can't make it up. IBF a monopoly, right, Kurt? And no matter what Saudi money is thrown at the fights, it always comes back to the IBF. Well, yeah, the IBF wants to put themselves in position. You know what I mean? And I used to think they're more like sticklers, but no, they're more like just sophisticated crooks that they only use their rules when it benefits them. That's all they're doing. Because they know, well, Usyk, we don't know how long Usyk's going to be around. You know what I mean? And then, so if we strip him now, what can we do? Think about it. They take the belt from Usyk. They allow Daniel Dubois and Hrgovic to fight for it. What happens? Somebody new is crowned champion, right? Okay, so at that point, since somebody's crowned champion, Hrgovic or Dubois, somebody got to pay the sanctioning fees. Counterpunch. Somebody got to pay the sanctioning fees for getting that belt. Oh, well, you know the sanctioning fees are, how much is that? Oh, that's $568,416. What? Yeah. So that's a portion of that fight. from your fight purse right there, giving it to them because you now are the champion of that International Boxing Federation. You see what I mean? That's what they're doing. They're not going to wait to December because they don't know what's going to happen in December. They're not going to wait 6 months. They're not going to do that. What they're going to do, because they've already seen, okay, Usyk can beat Tyson. Okay, let's move on. Let's take our belt out of the thing. I don't care about those other belts anyway. Let's make more sanctioning fees for our federation. And how we do that, we strip Usyk. You know, even though he's had the belt since when? 2021? He's had it for 3 years. Let's strip him anyway. He should have fought Hrgovic when he had the chance. So he should have fought Hrgovic. Like, it's like some stickler sitting there, a greedy stickler. Fees, commissions. They knew because they don't. No, we're gonna allow Hrgovic and Daniel Dubois to fight for it. Then we'll get them. We'll hit them up. Oh, you knew they're fighting. Ooh, guess what? Oh, that big tyrant over there, Turkey Al-Sheikh. Ooh, great. So we're gonna have Anthony Joshua. Ooh, I love his fees. Why? Because Joshua makes more money than all of them. He makes more than Usyk. He makes more than Hrgovic. He makes more than Dubois. Come on. Kurt, I disagree with you on there. There is a good side to this. There is, firstly, the IBF is cruel to all fighters, not biased. Secondly, stripping a fighter of one of the 4 belts make undisputed more valuable. Yeah, it does. It makes it more valuable, okay? But what I'm saying is, since they know that makes it more valuable, why would they strip the undisputed champion? They're sticklers, bro. They're sticklers, but no. How it was explained, it makes more sense. And if they think what I'm saying is a lie, why don't they do something else? How about that? They need to do something else. That's what separates him from the rest of the heavyweights. Yeah, he makes more money, and they know it's going to be in his hands eventually. Hrgovic has a better shot of beating Joshua than Dubois. Dubois give Joshua a good fight, but I think Dubois has some type of mental hold up and block or something. I think as soon as he gets hit hard by Joshua, he's going to quit. And I don't think Jarrell Miller hit hard enough to make Dubois quit. On top of Jarrell taunted Dubois. And on top of Dubois threatened to be kicked out of Queensberry. You knew that boy was going to get kicked. You knew Frank, if Dubois would have came out and he would have did something similar to what Jarrell Miller proclaimed him to be, the same thing he did against Usyk last year, they would have booted Daniel Dubois out because he's not reliable and he's not worth the money that they're investing in him. That's what would have happened to him, and he knew that because they told him. You think Frank didn't tell Danny Dubois, hey, man, look, we're going to give you another chance. You flat quit by a jab from a southpaw that ain't even an original heavyweight that came up. You quit. You didn't get hit because you was just hurt. You quit because you didn't want to get hit no more. You was tired of the struggle. Something mentally broke within Danny Dubois. That's why I don't give Danny Dubois a chance against Anthony Joshua, because I know the minute Anthony Joshua, as soon as he opens up on Dubois, unless he catches Joshua, that could always happen in the heavyweight division. Look at what we just saw. Usyk caught Tyson Fury, and you should have sworn Usyk had the spirit of Mike Tyson up in there. Okay? Because it changed everything when Tyson got caught. Tyson turned into a scared squirrel. He turned into a scared squirrel. Come on. I mean, so yeah, they know that. People over there, they know boxing, they know boxers, they know their salary. That you think they don't know Anthony Joshua's salary? You think they don't know how marketable and profitable he is? They know that. They know that for a fact. Bars, they know that. Okay? If Fury doesn't reenact the rematch, could Usyk challenge Hrgovic? Well, here's the thing. And see, this is the problem. Good question, Richard S. Counterpunch to my member. Listen, what he just asked made a lot of sense. Well, if Tyson decides to retire, could then Usyk say, hey, I want to fight for my belt? No. And I'm going to tell you why. What happens then Ergovic. See, that could have happened if Tyson pulled out. But here's the thing: the IBF knew that Oleksandr Usyk had Hergovic as the alternative. So they know, hey, if it wasn't for the unification, I would satisfy my mandatories. I would fight my mandatory. They knew that. They knew, okay, it's in writing that if Tyson Fury, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, pulls out again or stalls again, they're going to fight Filip Hrgovic, which is the IBF mandatory. The IBF knew that. So you can't sit here and tell me that they didn't know that this man was trying his best to be compliant, to be an IBF champion amongst other champions, the WBO and the WBA all combined, and the IBO, if that counts. Okay. So there you go. 2 years is too long for a mandatory challenge, to be honest, Kurt. I know. Whose fault is that, though? That ain't their fault. They still had other belts. They still had the WBA. You remember that? They still had the WBA. He had to fight Joshua again, contractual. So he fought Joshua again. Then he was going to fight Tyson Fury for all undisputed. They jerked him around. And what ended up happening? He fought Daniel Dubois, because that was in the next lane. That is not Oleksandr Usyk's fault. So to try to take up for the IBF and say, well, too long is too long. Well, look at Spence. They let him do whatever he wanted to do. Why? Because he was the A side. That's all. So they kind of loosened the rules for some people. Just like they did Tyson Fury in 2015. They knew, well, we don't know what Tyson Fury is going to do. It was a good call. You know why it was a good call? Because Tyson Fury, fell from grace. He didn't even fight for the belt. So they stripped him anyway. So it was a good call for them. But Terrence Crawford, that was wrong. And see, people talk about Crawford and people talking about Boots Ennis. They could have fought. You know why they didn't fight? The IBF. Because by that time they stripped him, where Boots Ennis was the mandatory for the IBF. Since he was the mandatory for the IBF, that meant, hey, Crawford, you got to fight your mandatory or vacate. But what did they do? They stripped this man anyway. So why would he feel that he needed to fight any belt for the IBF? And he sure the hell don't want a belt back from a federation like that did him like that. Just because he was the B-side and he wasn't Errol Spence? Now, you mean to tell me they would do Errol Spence the same way after prolonging this like that? See, for a whole year, they were talking about fighting. All of 2020, you guys remember when Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence supposed to fight? It's supposed to have been in summer of 2022. Then they got stretched to October of 22. Then it got stretched to November of 22. Then it got stretched to December of 2022. They ended up fighting last year in the summer of 23. The IBF knew that. They waited to the guy that didn't make the most money, the B-side, the guy that was not as profitable or marketable to get the belt, and then they're going to impose their will and their rules and regulations. That's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they did. That's all they did. It's Fury's fault he postponed the Undisputed many times. Yeah, so did Errol Spence and Al Heyman, because they did not want Errol to get in there with Terrence Crawford. He was just it was too dangerous. Okay, it was too iffy. It was too iffy. They did not know. They did not know if that was going to be the best play for Errol Spence. So what they did was, look, if he's going to take this fight, they don't want that fight, because that fight cannot be dictated. Because what happened. Terrence Crawford stopped Errol Spence. I think he almost killed him, because Errol's not accustomed to losses. Since Errol Spence was not accustomed to losses, Errol Spence was in danger of being killed. I'm just going to be real with you, because people that have never been defeated, they're going to try to find ways to win when they're not winning. They're going to try to find ways to win and prevail when they're not prevailing. They're going to try to find ways to do something that they can't do at that day because they're not accustomed to losing. That will get you beat to death. And someone like Terrence Crawford, bro, he took a couple rounds off, 5 and 6. He took those rounds off. Fury was trying to age Usyk out, in my opinion. Fury was trying to get paid, probably age him out. But what happens if he's younger? That they knew. Hopefully, Usyk gets pissed off and says, and goes away and fights his mandatory or all that stuff. But he wanted undisputed. He got it. God bless him. He got it. Okay? He got that. Kurt, if a promoter asked you to work with them like a day, would you do it and would you do it and who with? Tang. I call my boy Showbiz. If a promoter asked me to work with them like a day, yeah, I'll bring my boy Showbiz. So yeah, it would like it's all about uplifting the next person that's succeeding. You know what I mean? You're helping people that help themselves. No coattailing here. You see a person holding their own weight, doing their own thing. You know what I mean? You see a person that is responsible and is credible, that is knowledgeable, that knows the game, but most importantly, loves the sport. So yeah, I would call Showbiz. That would be the first person. If I did get a call from the zone by a day and representation and all, yeah, I would call. Hey, look, this is what it is. I want you to come in. Let's go fly to UK. Do this and see. Personal, nothing changes. We still have our platforms. But we now are in another position in the sport of boxing to do more for the sport that we feel it's credible. So we can avoid stuff like this happening, like with the IBF. And if it does happen, we have a bigger voice. So then the IBF is like, oh, these are not just two YouTube content creators no more. They're actually promoters that are pissed off and they're coming up in a big way. You know? Tang coming in with that love. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the response. Absolutely. We're manifesting that. We're making that a reality. We're making that happen. We're making that known. You know, because that's going to happen. MP in the place to be. Bars. Let's celebrate their first super chat on the live stream. Says Tang. Tang, appreciate that love, brother. Keep them coming. But listen. Kurt Ryan has been calling out Spence. Yeah, I know. I mean, we still have to worry about tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Sorry. Wednesday. Wait. Yeah, Wednesday, right? Yeah, Wednesday. So we have to see what's happening Wednesday for Ryan. But see, he's already, I don't think I'm going to win. How do you know? I'm not even going to talk about Ryan. I'm exhausted talking about him. It's the promoters who don't want undisputed. They need belts for every show they put on. Now, I do agree that belts bring more money. Money brings more intriguement. The word champion is something all together more marketable. You know, the belts do bring the marketing strategy, okay? And it fills seats because, man, we're watching a championship fight. There's nothing like that. When you hear championship fights, you know, oh, man, who's the champ? So the champ taking on the next best dude or the next challenger that wants to take the title. You know what I mean? He's trying to knock him off the throne. You know? What's the champ going to do? How the champ is going to respond. Stuart, what's up, brother? What about that Usyk? What a legend. He's a legend, bro. He did it at 37. Vlad came there. It's almost like, Vitali was there when he beat Joshua, and Vlad is there when he beat Fury. But Vlad was coming back because Vlad was like, I want to see Oleksandr Usyk beat the guy that pissed all over me and stole a victory from me back in 2015. Meatball Metal Box J, hey Kurt, how you? I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. I'm a sticker to where belts are only lost in the ring unless belt holders won't fight the mandatory. Okay. Kurt, after the IBF strip Usyk, when Joseph Parker versus Zili Zhang 2, they fight, they will get elevated to champion straight away. So no Joshua versus Usyk 3. No. Turkey Al-Sheikh, see, here's the thing. Turkey Al-Sheikh planned it to be undisputed. So the next question is, because I gotta jump off of here in a second. Yeah, in about 2 minutes. So the thing is, Turkey Al-Sheikh is, what is he really going to do? You know, because now if they do strip him, which they say, huge sources, then something else has to happen. Let's hope Turkey Al-Sheikh can make the best possible outcome and solution. You know, what if Tyson retires? What if Usyk retires? Usyk said he's going to do it, so I believe he's going to do it. I don't think that he's not, because I don't think he's a person that's, if he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. You know, he's too credible at this point not to. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you know, when has he lied to say he's a liar? Okay, so I think that Turkey, you know, can concoct something and pull some strings and do whatever is new. All right, and I think if anything, we should see some very interesting stuff. But I do believe on the IBF side, the IBF is concocting the whole Philip Hergovic, Daniel Dubois, because that's the next biggest fight card that they can have. It's bigger than the one in America with Terrence Crawford. It's bigger, even though, you know, because Crawford's challenging the 154-pound champion. Okay, this is the heavyweights, and they're fighting for the opportunity to fight Joshua in Wembley. That's bigger because it means more, because more money's on the line. When you bring Wembley into the equation, people, you have to understand something. Wembley is the premier place to be in the UK. And Joshua already has that slot, so he's waiting to see who is going to be challenged and who they feel will be that person. And it won't be Zhang versus Wilder. But guys, love you guys. I'm glad that we counterpunched the IBF, the International Boxing Federation. I gotta run. You know, I gotta do some family stuff. You guys be blessed. I will see you tomorrow in another live, because we're gonna go live more and more and more. And everyone on the chat has been counterpunched. Peace.